Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a Steelers supporter, you know how unpredictable this offseason has been, especially with all the buzz surrounding the potential arrival of Aaron Rodgers. It's not every day you see a future Hall of Famer like Rodgers making headlines for the Steelers, and this time the stakes are even higher. Fans are eagerly watching to see how this new chapter unfolds, and honestly, the anticipation is almost unbearable. The Steelers, coming off 2 consecutive 10-7 seasons and making it to the playoffs twice in a row, are looking for that extra push, that spark, to propel them further into the postseason, and dare I say, back to the Super Bowl. But what exactly does Rodgers bring to Pittsburgh? Can he truly elevate this team to new heights? Well, let's dive into the latest intel and see what's happening behind the scenes, because there's a lot more than meets the eye. Rodgers, at 41 years old, might seem like a veteran nearing the end of his career, but make no mistake, he remains a force to be reckoned with. The expectation from the Steelers' front office, the coaching staff, and even the fans is that he's here to deliver postseason success. And to be fair, Rodgers is an upgrade over what Pittsburgh has had at quarterback in recent years, no matter how you slice it. But the question that's buzzing around the NFL world is, just how much of an upgrade is he really? Because, let's be honest, there's always that lingering doubt when a new quarterback enters a system, especially one with as much baggage and history as Rodgers. Still, all signs point to one thing: he's taking this transition seriously, and that's a big deal. If you look at the recent reports, especially the detailed story from Jeff Howe at The Athletic, you get a clear picture of how committed Rodgers has been in this process. Howe, who's known for his deep dives into NFL teams, visiting training camps, talking to sources around the league, says that Rodgers has added a whole new level of accountability to the Jets' practice field and facilities. Imagine that, a quarterback of his caliber, not just showing up but actually taking charge of the situation, teaching and pushing his teammates to be better. That's huge. It's a sign that Rodgers is not just here to collect a paycheck or pass the time. He's genuinely invested in making this work, even if the offense is still ironing out some wrinkles early on. Now, I want you to pause for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let us continue with the big reveal, because that's where it gets interesting. This level of accountability and leadership from Rodgers could be a game changer, not just for the Jets but for the Steelers' upcoming season. Think about it. Rodgers' reputation has always been a bit polarizing. Some teammates, like Davante Adams, have spoken glowingly about him, highlighting his leadership qualities and the way he elevates everyone around him. But others, including some former players turned analysts, have expressed skepticism, especially when it comes to his leadership style and how he interacts with teammates. One of those skeptics, Ryan Clark, a longtime Steelers safety and current NFL analyst, has had his reservations. Clark, who's known for his candid opinions, recently visited the Jets facility and didn't leave much room for doubts about Rodgers' focus and intentions. He's moving with purpose, with a clear goal in mind, which is impressive considering it might be Rodgers' last shot at a Super Bowl ring. And that kind of motivation can be contagious, especially in a locker room full of young, talented players eager to learn from a guy who's been to multiple AFC championship games and a Super Bowl. But let's not forget the challenges. Building chemistry with new weapons is always tricky, and Rodgers is doing just that, working with players he's never played with before. DK Metcalf, for example, is his primary target right now. Metcalf, as you know, is an explosive receiver with game-changing ability, but he's still adapting to Rodgers' style and the new system. The chemistry isn't fully there yet, and that's something to watch in the early part of the season. Meanwhile, tight end Jonnu Smith, acquired during the offseason, is also in the mix. Rodgers has been trying to get on the same page with these new targets, which is crucial because consistency and timing are everything in the NFL. Now, speaking of targets, there's a lot of talk about the depth chart. Behind Metcalf, the team has been raving about Roman Wilson, a young receiver who showed flashes last season. But Wilson has yet to produce in games, and the team is looking for him to take that next step. Calvin Austin III, who had a promising rookie season with 548 yards, looked like he might be a breakout player, but an abdominal injury slowed his progress during the offseason. Still, he remains an intriguing option for Rodgers, who seems to like veteran Scotty Miller, a player who made a strong impression in the preseason and secured a spot on the roster. What's interesting is that the Steelers, despite having some promising young talent, might need to make a move to add another receiver, someone who can be a true number 2 threat, if they want to maximize Rodgers' potential. Having a reliable, consistent target outside of Metcalf would really raise the ceiling of this offense, but it would also put more pressure on Rodgers to help that player get up to speed quickly. That's the challenge of integrating new talent mid-season, but Rodgers has always been known for his football IQ and ability to adapt on the fly. As we look ahead to Week 1, it's clear that the Steelers have a lot riding on this new chapter. The team's leadership under head coach Mike Tomlin remains solid. Tomlin, after all, is one of the best in the league at getting his teams to overperform and stay competitive. But with Rodgers now in the fold, the dynamic shifts. The Steelers are now in a position to be a serious contender, especially if Rodgers can replicate some of his past MVP-level performances and help elevate the entire offense. Of course, the question remains, how quickly will it all come together? Because, as we know, chemistry in the NFL doesn't happen overnight. It's a process filled with ups and downs, especially when a quarterback like Rodgers has to learn new receivers, new schemes, and new expectations. But there's a sense of optimism around the Steelers' camp. Rodgers' eagerness to teach and lead could be the missing piece that pushes this team over the top. And if he can find that rhythm early, Pittsburgh might just surprise a lot of people this season. In the end, what makes this entire story so compelling is not just the individual talent involved, but the narrative of change and possibility. The Steelers have been a stable franchise for decades, known for their tough defense and disciplined approach. Now, with Rodgers in the mix, they're adding a new dimension, an experienced, talented quarterback who's hungry for success and willing to put in the work. Their offensive line is solid, their defense remains one of the league's best, and if the offense can find consistency, the sky's the limit. But fans, you know how unpredictable the NFL can be. Injuries, turnovers, unexpected performances, they all play a part. Still, with Rodgers' leadership and the core talent like DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, Jonnu Smith, and Scotty Miller, the Steelers are entering this season with a renewed sense of purpose. Expectations might be high, but the reality is that they're also realistic about the work needed to reach that next level. This season could be a turning point, not just for Rodgers and the Steelers, but for the entire AFC North. Because if Rodgers can bring his best, and if the team can gel quickly, we might be witnessing the beginning of a new era. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Rodgers can be the difference maker? Are you confident in the team's ability to build chemistry and make a deep playoff run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Steelers' future. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more inside scoops, and everything you need to know about your beloved team. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the Steelers' spirit alive all season long.